Hello, hi, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Lotus, Lotus the Sage. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we have another pick a card, and Spirit has prompted me to do 4 piles today. I think because it's going to be a fairly deep reading and maybe more people will see this, who knows. Anyways, I did this reading for myself and it definitely was extremely deep and hit on certain things that I almost didn't accept, to be, if I'm honest. Like, I was like, really, is this really the advice that you're giving me? And I had to like pull so many extra cards just to make sure, because I was like, wow, this is not an advice that I thought I was going to be given at this stage of my healing with a particular family member. So anyways, it was very eye-opening, and it gave me a lot to really consider. So just keep that in mind, that it may be a little bit more jarring to hear, not in a sense of it being difficult, but being like, really, is this the suggestion, or is this what's being given? So this reading is going to be about your spiritual dowry right now, like your current spiritual dowry. And this reading came to me as I was looking through a particular book of mine, and I was just trying to think about what's been pressing recently for my own personal spiritual growth. And I was thinking about what was like handed down to me and how I've either consciously or unconsciously taken that on, you know, like, I don't know, that was my train of thought. So this is how this reading progressed, or came to be, I should say. So enough talking. So for pile 1, we have the rhodonite bracelet. Pile 2, we have the red garnet bracelet. Pile 3, we have the pyrite bracelet. And pile 4, we have the ᴬᴜᴜᴁ bracelet. So my collective, take a second, maybe think about some of the things like I had mentioned about what I'd been thinking about, and see which pile might be pulling your attention, and I will see you at your choice. All right, my beautiful pile 1s. We got a lot of cards here today, so I'm going to get spreading them out. Okay, my beautiful collective of pile 1. Let's see your first position, which is your dowry. What were you handed down, my love? Okay, so first we are gonna do this dude here. Number 16, soulkin, recognition, family, and kinship. So it feels like a part of your spiritual dowry has to do with, as it says, kinship, the recognition of a soulmate, a soul partner, even within your family, outside of your family, or your bloodline, I should say. But it feels like you've been gifted with a soulmate in this lifetime. And I feel like a very significant one. And I do actually feel that it's in your family, like your bloodline. That's what I'm getting first. And then it says why in the reverse. Ooh, this is interesting. It's making me feel right away first that there's like, I feel like you know this, like there's no question about you feeling this way or knowing this about somebody or something in your life, someone it feels like in your life. The recognition of each other's soul, you know, that's very much like tribe, like it's kin, that's what it is. And it really does feel like there's no doubt in your mind about it. And I don't think you've ever questioned it really either. I think it was just sort of like, it's always been. That's the energy I'm feeling. Interesting. The tarot we have is the Queen of Wands, and it says Queen of the Throne of Flames. Maybe it has to do with a particular fire sign, or specifically a female energy. I'm hearing that it's very obvious of who this connection is with, or how this dowry came to be, so to speak. Like how it connects somehow. I just heard even if it's like a long lost aunt, like they're giving me, it's very interesting, this energy here. Because for some strange reason, when I was like, this is interesting, the first energy I felt was like a separation. Like legitimately felt like either you didn't grow up with some, not for everybody, that some didn't grow up with your biological family. Some were estranged from someone in the family at some point. I don't know why I'm getting that, but that was a feeling I had, so I thought I'd just voice it. And box, you receive a gift. Yeah, like this is a part of the dowry. It's like, I feel like this person is the gift to you. It's almost like your physical helper in this plane. It's really about the recognition of the kinship, you know, regardless if it's actually blood family or not. This is beautiful. Wow. Okay, let's see what the curses of with this dowry, so to speak. Even though I don't fully believe in curses, but you know what I mean. Let's put it this way. If I'm not going to do curse, let's say the lingering challenge of this dowry, excuse me. Orphan, see what I'm saying? When I was telling you about like there's something that I felt like you guys, there's a separation. Maybe there was like again, maybe there's only like one person either in your family or growing up or something like that that made you feel like connected and understand what family means or what kinship means, because of the fact that you may have felt orphaned in some respect, whether that be like literally orphaned, whether that be feeling isolated, abandoned, alone, whether that be growing up too fast. This is interesting. It's almost like, wow, again, and this brings back to the gift. Like I really do feel like maybe this is new because I'm asking about the current dowry, right? Maybe this is a new person coming in. Or again, like I said, something more similar to like a long lost relative or a long lost friend or something along those lines. Wow, this is so cool. And then the Empress, daughter of the mighty ones. They're giving me the movie Anastasia, animation of course. They're giving me the animation of Anastasia, and again, like being a part of this sort of, like, this may not be your thing, but I mean like being a part of a certain type of family or an actually deeply influential family, or it can be like, it doesn't have to be, but it just feels like spiritually speaking is what I'm getting at, that you are from a lineage and from a power that's much greater than you think, that you've never really been alone, you know, that and also like not to forget that you are this Empress. I wonder if in a past life you released that, like you didn't want to be that leader or that type of leader, and it left you alone some way. This is so interesting. And then Rainbow, the most difficult part of the situation is over. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you're not going to be in this anymore. Like you're not going to feel lonely. So this feels like it's what's coming in for you, my lovely. And I wasn't sure how they were going to play it out because for me, mine was about past energy. So for you guys, it feels like this is like literally currently happening or will be happening for you. That this feeling lack of connection, of kinship, of recognition, of a family, of community. You know, you're going to receive a gift soon and that you won't have to doubt. that you'll be able to step into this bountiful giving energy of giving and receiving, excuse me. And the most difficult part of you feeling orphaned is done. Like, you're done. Oh, this is so nice. Oh, I love it. Okay. What's this dowry's promise to you? The tribe. I talked about that already. The tribe, yeah, a sense of family, of community, like I said, of love, of home, a sense of home. That's the promise. Oh, I love it. And then death in the reverse, child of the great transformers. Yeah, it's like what you might have thought was not possible for you, or would never happen, or that was dead and gone, that there was no need or no use of putting in thoughts or energy, that you won't feel like this orphan. You know, it's coming to an end. Oh man, yeah, grapes. Time to go out and have some fun. That's the promise of family, of celebration, of abundance, of wealth, of a new start in something. I'm really strongly getting that there's like some long lost family member or something like that, that you have like this instant, like, where have you been all my life kind of vibe, you know? And even if it's not family, it is a person that feels exactly like that. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, let's see what a challenge is for you about this dowry. Chop wood. Number 42. I heard cutting out the past beliefs, especially when it comes to this orphan feeling and abandonment energy. And it's also feeling like a sense of needing to prep for this newness in your life, because it's not something that you were accustomed to. And they're bringing me to like chopping wood for the fire of warmth, hearth and home, excuse me. You know, and that's the feeling I'm getting. It's like you're not used to it, because you felt alone all your life that you might like self-sabotage in the sense of like, this is too good to be true, or, you know, but it's just like, just continue to do the work, because this is a gift for you, literally a gift for you. So please take it in this warmth. Then we have the Five of Swords. Yeah, exactly, Lord of Defeat. Like, that's the challenge. Is like you're gonna figure out how to trust it. You know, trust in what's being offered to you in a sense of like love and care and tribe and family and kinship. Just take it in. Don't resist it. Don't second guess it. Don't make assumptions. Don't have any expectations. Just enjoy it. And then Dark Woman. Dealing's a relationship with a woman with dark complexion or dark hair. Look at this, and we talked about this in the beginning, right? This might have to do with a fire sign or a woman or a female energy in particular, and it might have to do with, that might be that woman, about you resisting this energy to come into your life in some way. Not fully. It's just like almost like waiting for the shoe to drop, and I think that's what they're talking about. Like, chop that perspective out, because that's not what's going to happen here. It's not. Okay, so this position here is going to remain a puzzle to you. Let's see what's going to remain a puzzle. Peace. Interesting. This is what I'm trying to say. Like, you're so like, when's the shoe going to drop? They're like, this is crazy that it's this calm, this easy, this loving, this inclusive, you know? You're going to be like, how did this, like, I'm again, there's like this fear. I feel like a fear of like, when is this going to stop? Like, what's the trick? You know, where are the cameras? It's that kind of energy. That's so cute. Eight of Pentacles, Lord of Prudence. Yeah, like, again, the effort somebody puts in, or people put in, or this person, I really feel like it's a person. This person puts in, you know, friend or romantic, business or not, or just random. It doesn't really matter. It's like you're going to be just baffled by like, this person cares. Like, and it's so peaceful, it's so easy, it's so loving. Oh, it's so good. It's an look at this. An announcement. You're just like, what the shit? Is this freaking real? What a big change. Oh, this is so, like, it's so happy. It's really so happy. Oh, I love it. Okay, let's see what the necessary burden is within this dowry, the spiritual dowry of yours. Going the distance, okay? Yeah, well, makes sense, right? If there's a need or a tendency to self-sabotage when something feels unfamiliar and almost too good to be true, they are definitely talking to you about that for sure. But it's necessary. This is, again, this is a gift. Please, 𝓵𝓵, take it, take it. Yeah, Knight of Wands. Beautiful. Lord of Flame and Lightning. I was just reading up on some tarot today, actually, and I really like this definition that they gave. Was confidence amidst rapid change. Consistency. You know, it's that confidence to go the distance amongst all the changes that are happening. And I think it's beautiful. I think that's exactly what you need to do. That is probably like your challenge. It's like I need to keep it. I need to be prudent and keep accepting accepting that this is truth. This is real. This is genuine. This is love. This is I'm recognized, you know? Look at this. A wish is granted. Like I can't make this shit up. Like it's literally what you've been wanting, you know, and it's freaking coming. If it's not already, it's coming, or they've arrived. Like they're in your spirit some way, or they're coming. They're coming quick. That's all I can say for sure. Okay, let's see what your task is then. Coming to the edge, yeah, going the distance, coming to the edge, out of your comfort zone, trusting, believing. That's the task. Just come and meet at the edge. Just keep going. Go the distance. Four of Wands, yes, Lord of perfected work. That's the task. Get to that perfected work. Overcome this part of you that felt orphaned, alone, abandoned, not connected, no family, no tribe, no community, no support. They're like, come to the edge. It's here for you. It's here. Oh my gosh. Sunrise, new creative ideas, new ventures, a fresh start. Abso-freaking-lutely. That is the fresh start. Abso-freaking-lutely. And if you know the fortune tea tarot, they're not all like uber pleasant, you know? So to get this many like good cards in a row is pretty awesome. Side note, you know? Okay, then let's see what the problem is. What's the problem here? New life. Ooh. You're afraid, like I said, like it's just a little bit of a fear. And so that sabotage comes in because you're fearful that, again, when's the shoe gonna frickin' drop? This is too good to frickin' be true. This is too easy. It's too comfortable. They're doing everything I wanted. It's almost like getting what you wished for. And now you're second guessing the frickin' wish. Don't do it. Don't do it, 𝓵𝓵. Oh my gosh, guys. 10 of Cups, Lord of perfected success. Perfected success. New life. This is a problem. You're afraid of it. You are afraid. I don't care what you say. You're afraid. Oh, my lovely. Like it's afraid in the most sweet and endearing way. Don't get me wrong. Like I totally understand this, but lovely, it is here for you. Please jump into it. Jump into it. Archway. Oh my goodness. New opportunities, possibilities, and pathways opening up to you. Jump into the path, my love. Jump in. Don't be afraid. Oh my goodness, that's so great. So my beautiful collective, before we get into the last card, which is like the solution to all of this beautiful spiritual dowry, it's like you've been given a gift from family. It feels like from lineage, even if you are estranged from family. I'm talking about lineage, ancestral kind of thing. Either it's a new person, a family member, an estranged person that's somehow connected to you. Doesn't really matter. It might have to do with a fire sign in particular, and possibly more strongly a female energy. The momentum is very quick is what I feel, but it feels gradually quick. Like it doesn't feel like all of a sudden lightning, even though this is like the Florida Flame and Lightning. It feels like a rush, but not, not like a lightning bolt. I guess that's the best way I could say it. Poor analogy. But regardless, excuse me, that's what I'm feeling. Your task here is to come to the edge, build this foundation, this new adventure, step into this fresh start. Don't doubt it. Don't doubt it. This announcement's coming. It's gonna baffle you. Like, it's gonna be a puzzle to you. Like, what the shit? I'm telling you, I'm feeling it so heavily. Okay, let's see your solution. And your guidance, of course. Salud. Vitality, health, and energy. Yeah, it's gonna bring in this beautiful, and salud is like cheers. It's like celebrate for real. Salud, but you know what I mean? Like, it's that kind of energy. So that invigorated life force is what I feel like. Just happy. Like, that's why I said it's so happy. It's so good. Then you have a deep knowing. Yeah. Trust in this deep knowing. The sun literally just came out and it's been dark for the last like 3 days. So I'm telling you, the sun's here. Like, trust in this knowing, my lovely, of this vitality, this health, this energy, this knowing of what this feels like. Trust the feeling. Don't go into your mind too much with this one. Oh my gosh. 10 of Pentacles, Lord of Wealth. Look at this. 10 of Cups and 10 of Pentacles. Can you ask for more? Like, happy emotions and stable and happy life, like financially happy or abundantly happy in whatever way, but they're both here. Like, and people are working at it, wanting to put in that effort. That's the solution. Trust in your deep knowing. Trust in how you feel. Trust in what this like creates in you. The abundance and the wealth you feel. Wow. And June might be significant. The name June might be significant. The month of June might be significant. Gemini or Cancer, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right? Might be significant. Or you've had a knowing since June. Like, there's, however you want this to play out, my lovely, but there is definitely something that's coming here for you. And your spiritual dowry right now is this gift, this person, this thing, this love, this connection, this kinship, this release of the abandonment of the orphan, bringing in family and tribe with abundance. Time to have fun, receiving this gift. The most difficult part is over, wishes granted, the announcement of it. New opportunities, new adventures, fresh starts. June, dark-haired woman or dark woman, dark-haired or dealings or relationship with a woman with dark hair or complexion. So my beautiful collective, I hope this was helpful in letting you know where you are currently on your particular spiritual dowry at the moment. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sending you so much love. Until next time. Ciao. Welcome my pal too, who chose the red garnet. There's a lot of cards for you guys today, so I'm going to get started and spread them out. So let's get into what your current spiritual dowry is right now, and this is his first position right here. All right. We have Isa, number 17, stillness, pause, and delicacy. What I'm hearing the most clearly first is your spiritual dowry at the moment is about stillness and receptivity. I'm actually hearing patience and like waiting for the right time. It's like, for whatever reason, you're in a very purposeful hibernation right now. Because there's certain things I feel around you that need a particular type of delicacy or patience, or there's like time has to pass. Interesting. Let's see what else. The yin, yeah, speaking of that receptivity and that feminine energy, right? that this is a part of your spiritual gift of being able to be still, of to be receptive and nurturing, to know when the right time is to act, to have delicacy intact, to pause when it's appropriate, to be quiet when it's necessary. For you, it feels like an actual characteristic or like a hereditary attribute almost. This is interesting. Okay. And then we have the Ten of Swords, Lord of Ruin in the reverse. Yeah, it's like almost like being able to bring peace to many mental debates or arguments or situations, that you find the peaceful resolution, that you know how to end things smoothly is what I feel. Like you're a great mediator or very diplomatic, you know, very fair. And then Tiger, doing something risky, taking a chance. I'm curious if this was not necessarily the energy of, like, as I said, like a hereditary characteristic. Maybe it wasn't that. Maybe it was actually the opposite. Maybe there is a lot more aggression and volume and anger and tenseness in the voice or in the speech or in the demeanor, and yours is like quite the opposite, very calm, very still very, very impactful and poignant. It's just it's delivered in a very different way and comes across very, I feel very angelic, to be honest. This is interesting. They just said a part of your dowry is being able to appease the troubles of the mind. They're asking me to look at the ribbons. Or the whatever those are. They're saying, I heard she, but they're saying they cut through these ribbons or ropes, like the anguish of the mind, the confusion. You're able to get to the truth, and expose what needs to be exposed for there to be healing. That's wow. And I feel like this is sort of like a different approach to what had been done or what was accepted or something like that. It's like in Paulo Coelho's Brida, like there's the path of the sun and the path of the moon. They talk about this, and this right now is taking the path of the moon once in an area or in an environment where everybody's taking the path of the sun. I hope that makes sense. Interesting. Let's see what the lingering side effects of this dowry is for you from what was handed down to you. Between worlds. Wow, that makes sense. You know, exactly as I was referencing, like the sun and the moon, right? It's like, how do I balance the both? And this is you. That's part of your gift right now. It's like, I understand why it was given to you is what I'm getting at, you know? Like, you would be the only person to be able to do this, to be able to switch this sort of patriarchal energy into a matriarchal one. Again, talking about appeasing the mind. And then the Hanged Man, yeah, with your new perspective, your new approach, the spirit of mighty waters. They just said understanding the alchemical process for change in the human genome. It's interesting. They just said you're tapped into an energy that many can ill afford. Interesting. This is very cool. And then shield. You need to defend yourself. Well, if this is a part of like the lingering effect, it's like, yeah, you're gonna need to learn how to defend, especially if it's a lot of like sun energy, you know? And that's what has been, and you have to, not have to, but you've chosen to be in the yin. For sure, you're gonna get attacks or bite back or retaliation of some kind, you know? And especially when you're bringing in something new, you need to defend what it is that's new too. Defend this in between, this neutrality, which I love, that you're fighting for. This is beautiful. Very interesting. Yeah, it's really about blending the two visions into something in the middle. Let's see what the promise is with this dowry. Chaos and conflict. This is what I'm saying. Like I said, you bring calm to the conflict and the chaos. It's like this is the promise. It's like this is a part of what you do. Like quite literally, it's not even. Yeah, it's like there's not even I don't feel like you're the one or creating chaos and conflict. I feel like you're always kind of around it, and that's why this is like a part of your skill. Like you know how to calm all of this, to tame the waters. This is so very cool. And then Eight of Wands, Lord of Swiftness. Yeah, like you do it quick. Like you get rid of it quick. Like you don't allow it to linger and fester and mutate into something else. Again, this alchemical process, you don't. You're like, this is not going to transmute into anything other than good, you know, other than something helpful, something useful. Not creating more strife for no reason. And then older woman, dealings or relationship with an older woman. Two things. This particular like skill of yours can be handed down from a particular ancestor, sure. I'm also feeling that this could be the person or energy that might be creating the continuous chaos and conflict, or it's around this person or energy. That's a possibility. 2 or 3, excuse me, I'm getting the sense of a maturity within learning or knowing how to deal with chaos and conflict, with swiftness, with gentleness, with patience, with delicacy, you know, with perspective. So you take that as that fits. Wow. Let's see what the challenge is for you in this particular dowry. Fork in the road. Talk about splits, hey? Number 13. That between worlds, fork in the road, which direction to go, which methods to choose or to use. Do I stay on this field? Do I not? Do I take a new path? Is my approach working? I personally feel that's why they're saying like you just need to defend yourself. I think that your perspective is wonderful, in all fairness, but ultimately that's your choice, right? And then the Magician, that's what I'm saying, like you got it, like you're doing right. I feel like you're just doing right. And that fork in the road is, do you use your magic and continue where you are, or do you think that it's too much work, or it's not being received in some way? But I think you're doing more than you think, like more good than you think, or it's affecting more people than you know, in a positive way. The desk, yeah, pay attention to your work. Like, again, maybe this has specifically to do with your work environment, you know, and about how people delegate their energies or use their power. And it feels like you use it really well. It's just a matter of, is this environment right for my use of power? Am I continuously up against a wall with certain people or certain things? And as much as I've tried to appease it, maybe I need to make a change. Interesting. Okay, let's see what will always kind of remain, not will always. What will remain a puzzle to you in this particular dowry? Serendipity. How it's a fortuitous event. This is interesting. This is something, they said, this is something that needs to happen for you to see a certain thing about yourself. What is that thing, Spirit? They said the potential of what you can do and how high you can evolve. Don't stop reaching for that long-forgotten goal. That buried wish is what they just said. Ooh, what's this about, Pop 2? The Chariot, the Lord of Triumph of Light. Yeah, it's like don't lose track of that original dream and want. What pushed you to, I guess, seek out this way or be this way, you know? The things that led you here, the past experiences. Again, something that's puzzling, that will remain puzzling for you, is like how this is really beneficial for you. How all of this sort of like chaos and conflict has been something really helpful. Let's see where this is going. Bear, danger, especially in money matters. This is interesting. This, you know what I got first? I was like, how they phrased it was like, you exit right before things go shit. That's the feeling I'm getting. It's almost like, I don't know, so many companies went down because of, shady business deals. It's sort of like, I don't know, like it had been brought up like years prior, like years prior, and people have ignored it, and you're like, nobody's listening, I'm gonna peace out. And then like 3-4 years later, not even, like all those people are fucked now because, you know what I mean? Like they were still an accomplice or a part of the decision making, etc., etc. It's that kind of energy is what I'm getting from the serendipitous and this chariot and the bear. And again, I was talking about workplace energies, right? And it feels like you know when to leave situations right before shit hits the fan, because you do what you can to maintain or to create peace. But you also, like I said, know when to talk and know when not to talk. And also apparently know when to freaking peace out and know when your work is being used or it is useful in a certain area. So I understand this even more. You need to defend yourself. It might be, have a little bit more fight or bite back when it comes to more action as opposed to necessarily needing to speak it. That's interesting. Let's see what the necessary burden is then. A change in the wind. Yeah, like you have to create this chaos. Like I do feel like you have to a little bit. And I wasn't thinking that you were creating it in the way that I'm feeling this now, but this makes sense even more now. Like the promise is that you create change and shift. That's ultimately what it is. And with that change and shift, obviously you're going to have resistance, hence being able to defend yourself. And it probably has a lot to do with probably work or that type of environment, And but feels puzzling. It's like this whole thing is like serendipitous for you, and you can make changes. But again, like I said, you know when to get the F out of Dodge. Like you just know. And then you also know when people are being kind of shady with you. Again, you know truth. I can feel it. And the change that needs to happen, this is like the challenge. Like this needs to change. This chaos, this how this operates, this environment, this whatever, this society, this social acceptance of something, it needs to change, and you're a part of that. You are a catalyst for it. The Seven of Cups, because you look at this Lord of illusionary success, because without it, it's all illusionary. Exactly. Without this type of change, we just keep perpetuating the same thing. Maybe it comes back to that matriarchal, patriarchal environment, right? Like, how are we actually really attending to the employees here? Are we really looking out for the benefit of them, or is it just about freaking money? There has to be a better balance. March. Interesting. Do not quote me on this, but or correct me on this if you can. There's like certain like deadline. Wow. There's certain like deadlines in March that might be significant. I'm getting here March 12th, which is interesting. Or maybe it's like the second week in March, or there's some sort of financial things that are due, or it's coming to that area. I don't remember if tax season's like the next month afterwards. Like there's something about that, like the change in how things are done and what people view as success. Or springtime can just be significant in general. So part of the problem here is, how do I transform this energy? How do I make this change? How do I turn the illusion into a perceived reality? And that's the vision of the stillness, the patience, the delicacy, the yin energy. Beautiful. All right, let's see what your task is then, my love. Cleaning it up. Oh, shit. You have that task for sure. And mirroring numbers 12 and 21 here. Change in the wind, clean it up. This is what you've been trying to do. Like, I legitimately feel that from the beginning. You've been trying to clean this whole shit up. For in some way, spiritually, literally, practically, like, vocally, like, all ways that you could. You've been trying. I feel that. And then the Four of Swords. Lord of rest from strife. That's what you're trying to do. Again, release that strife. Cleaning it up. Oh, this is so good for you. That's the task. I feel like you're on task, my friend. I don't think this is anything new, but this is sort of like a confirmation. This might be you. Fair woman, dealings or relationship with a woman with blonde, gray, or white hair. That's totally a possibility for you, or can just be about this energy also, about cleaning up this type of energies. Oh my goodness. Apologies if this is insensitive, but they gave me this phrasing, like cleaning up the Karens. Apologies if your name is Karen. They're talking about it in the stereotypical what's memed out right now. So in that energy of that personality type that has been pegged by that name, unfortunate for all Karens in the world. I apologize. But this is what this energy is. And let's see what the problem is about this dowry, or what it could be, or what the problem is. Because if this is your task about cleaning it up, it's either this is you and you're the one who's cleaning up the strife, or it has to deal with this other person too, or just female energies in this place in general. So the problem here is by the book. Oh, I heard two things. At first I heard the rules don't work, so going by the book doesn't even matter because people aren't even actually following what's by the book, meaning what's ethical, what's moral in some senses, you know? Some things can be, is too rigid, the place could be too rigid, or again, too stuck in a doctrine or in a particular way of doing things. Again, like it's the structure needs to come down, systemically needs to be broken down. And that by the book is what's part of the problem. It's like it needs to get revamped. It needs to be relooked at. Yeah, Two of Swords. Lord of Rest restored. You know, it needs to get restored somehow because something's been missing. You know, the mark's been missed. And the harmony has not been had. So let's switch it up. Let's switch it up. Then we have chair, empty. Look at it. Someone is leaving your life. That's the problem here, hey? It feels like somebody who's in authority or in the high chair, so to speak, you know, the highest chair of whatever this organization or business or whatever this is might be, is the person that needs to change, like their outlook, for one. Two, it might be a need to replace this energy because it is outdated and they are no longer willing to budge for better change, to restore peace in this environment. So you take that as it resonates for you, my loves. So it looks like, my beautiful, beautiful collective, your spiritual dowry has to do with, you know, this beautiful calm that you're able to bring, this stillness, this fairness, this a sense of nobility, and again, morality and ethics and community, and communion possibly, you know, just it feels the change that you want to make feels right. It might feel like fantastical for people who've been in a world that's been very, like I said, sun dominant, but it's doable. It's just a matter of, again, changing the book, you know, rewriting that. Amazing. Let's see what the solution is to all this beautiful spiritual dowry. We have the Hedge Witch. Herb wisdom, secrets, hidden lore. Yeah, again, like, it's, you have the remedy is what I'm trying to say. Like, you have the magic to change this, the wisdom to change this. You understand the secrets behind, you know, like conflict resolution or behavioral analysis or whatever the case is. Like, there's something about you that you know. And that's why you've been gifted this task of cleaning it up with this type of energy, you know. It's really lovely. And then soulmates, wow. And I'm really getting a sense of like creating harmony. Like, that's the main thing, creating harmony in the place that it's not accustomed to, you know. There's something really very definite about that, creating the harmony there. And the solution is to bring people together. Fairness. Queen of Swords, with clarity, with truth, with reasoning. Queen of the Throne of Air. Queen of the Throne of Air. Yeah. With clarity, with truth. I love it. And then man. Dealings or relationship with a man. This is interesting. This is an extra layer because you have a lot of people on the board. So the solution might have to do, or might entail, excuse me, collaborating with another masculine energy for the full change to be had. I don't want to say this as in this cannot be done another way, but they're giving me a sense of, because of the energy, if this applies to you, the energy being really like sun dominant as I was feeling, that because this shift is so yin, again, and like I said, it might seem fantastical to some of these energies. When you bring in this particular masculine energy, it sort of gives some more validity to the people who are resistant, even though that's not the case. And I don't want you to be insulted by that. I don't. I just feel like because of the energies, they need that sort of coercion, is what I'm getting at, and they're not. And then they will hear. Like it's necessary. Again, it's necessary for this change, or this clarity and this truth. And this person might be a really awesome partner, really great soulmate too, that brings in extra wisdom too, and a different type of secret to get connected to. Let's say, for example, like the masculine ego around work. Maybe there's something else that, if you are feminine and identify so, and your energies are a little bit more soft and gentle, it might be a different perspective that you may have overlooked or didn't realize was so prominent. Just as an example, this may not be anything relative to what you're going through, but that's what they're bringing up. So my beautiful collective of Pile 2, that is your spiritual dowry at the moment. This stillness, this pause, this delicacy to bring in some harmony with the people and environment for sure. It definitely feels a very heavy emphasis on work, relationships, money, etc. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you so very much for watching. Until next time, keep watering your lives. Ciao. Welcome my Pile 3 who chose the pyrite. There's lots of cards, so let's get started. Apparently I forgot one. All right, my beautiful collective of Pile 3. So let us see what your spiritual dowry is currently. And this is this position over here. You have the Green Witch, fresh, new and spring. What I'm hearing first is that your, I guess a part of your spiritual dowry is for you to be an innovator, a pioneer, a trailblazer, a trendsetter. I'm hearing it's for you to go against the grain, against the norm. You've been gifted with the ability to see things with new eyes, always. You have a beautiful, uncanny ability to remain in a childlike state of wonder, of exploration, of creativity, of curiosity. You are one with nature, and nature is one with you. I'm feeling a lot of like tinctures. I think that's the right word. Potions, herbal remedies, natural living. Some of you, it's like off-grid living. Interesting. Let's see what else we got. We have the Observer in the reverse. You know what I'm getting with this Observer in the reverse here? It's almost like they're telling me that your energy or your spirit, or what propels or pushes you forward, is about this newness, about this fresh new starts, in other words. And I'm really getting a sense of there's, how would I word this? It's not like there's no more time to think. It's like, stop with the thinking. It's time to do. That's what your energy feels like. There's been too much contemplation, too much of this, and not enough doing. And your energy is that, again, like I said, that pioneer spirit that propels and pushes things forward, that knows how to start new things. It's not afraid to begin and end things. But there is a feeling, I should say, about no longer needing to wait, wait for your turn, or wait for something to change, or wait. There's like, no. You are definitely taking the lead or initiative in some way, shape, or form. And fortitude, strength. Yep. Daughter of the flaming sword. Yeah, there's a lot about you doing. It's not about observing and waiting and contemplating and overthinking. It's like, enough of that's been done. Let's start. Let's go. And you have the gusto to get that done. You have that sort of gravitas to get things moving. And then apple. Interesting. Temptation will test you. I'm not sure if the temptation is about you falling back into old patterns of the things that you're trying to change and come out of. It's almost like the temptation is to like go back to the way things used to be done, because it's difficult, or I just heard nobody listens, or nobody hears, or nobody tries. Everybody's so used to the same old that anything new is like, again, a test of faith or will, or a temptation that's evil. Something like that. That's something very interesting that I'm feeling here. So it feels like your dowry is about breaking the status quo, releasing some sort of programming and tradition or patterning. And your strength is, like I said in the beginning, it's this ability to recognize one's own strength and abilities, not to just be observing and waiting for things to happen, but to take initiative. That of course things will test you, of course temptation will test you, but you have to be always ready and willing to make that new start. Use your strength and come out of the observer for moments, to do more, to make some action, to take action. Interesting. Let's see then what the lingering energies or residual energies from this dowry that you've received. Here and now. Yeah, like it's the same feeling. It's like, what's here now? How do we address what's here now? Not waiting, not contemplating, not overthinking, not over-organizing also. What's present? What's happening now? So I guess what's lingering is, how do you deal with it and how do you balance it out now with the old energies and with the new? Ace of Pentacles, yeah. Lord of the root of powers of earth. Yeah, and that's what you're trying to do, is ground in this like new way, this new being, this new idea, this practical material shift, in the here and now, with the perspective, with what's been observed already. It's time to move. That's what I'm feeling. Action, bull. Do not back down from opposition. Show strength and fortitude. You have it here. That's a part of the lingering effects, like, the curse of the dowry, so to speak. It's like you don't, like maybe you do, but possibly you don't realize how much your strength and, like they said, fortitude is backing this newness within you. Like you're living it, you're living your talk. And I really am feeling that spirit saying, like, in the here and now, you have to find strength to keep moving, to keep pushing for what it is that you're wanting, for this freshness, this shift or change that you're trying to create. Interesting. Let's see what the promise is for you from this dowry. Exchanging gifts. That's beautiful. It's a beautiful promise. I heard exchanging gifts of love and affection. I'm also hearing of support. And I'm hearing like, I don't know why they're saying it this way, like an appropriate listener. I don't know what that means. I don't know if they're saying that you listen at the appropriate times and you take the things that are really useful. Like you make people or things or people feel heard. You know, and I think that's what this observer energy is about. It's like I've recognized and I've paid attention. So now is the time to move, to exchange something, to change something. Nine of Pentacles, yeah, to make that wish come true, that Lord of material gain. Yes, my friend, it really does feel that way. It's like a give to receive in a more broad sense. You know, it's like once you give effort, this is the payback, you know, and this is in your material world. It can be in your emotional world. Doesn't really matter. But that promise is like abundance, reciprocity, balance, common ground, similar vision. It's a beautiful promise. And then boot. Increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals. There it is, you know, exchanging gifts. Again, this is a promise for you. So they just keep reiterating fortitude, strength, but don't back down. Ace of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, increase the efforts. It's like what you're doing is right. Like what you see for this or what you can imagine for this is right. And exchange that information, exchange that wisdom, exchange your ideas, you know, put in that effort that you want to do. It's not going unnoticed or on deaf ears. Like, keep pushing, because it's promised to you, my love. It's promised. Okay, then let's see what the challenge might be for you. Imagine in the reverse. I just saw 1333. Threes could be significant. You know what I'm getting here as a challenge? It's like, it's almost like you begin at some point, or if you're not already, like doubting that what you're doing is actually working. You know, that the shift or this change can actually happen, begin, sustain, maintain. They're asking you not to get too practical when it comes to the imagination of what could be. You know, to keep it whimsical, again, back to that childlike curiosity and wonder. Don't doubt the shifts that have already been made, even if you cannot see them. Five of Pentacles, Lord of material trouble. Like I said, that's the challenge, right? Like you're thinking that it's not working, that you're not being heard, or it's falling on deaf ears, and it's like Lord of material trouble. It's not. Imagine the possibility of this, of whatever it is shifting, because it's promised, you know, like that's what's here. Lord of material gain, exchanging gifts, increase the efforts. Just increase the efforts. Bird perched, waiting for news. There you go, package letter. You see me? That's what they're saying to you, my love. Like, imagine while this is incubating, keep working, put in more effort. It's gonna come, but it's a challenge for you to get past the sort of mental blockages that might pop up every once in a while, or you might have that like defeatist mindset in certain scenarios when a particular thing doesn't work out, or just wasn't received as much as you would like, or as well as you would like, I should say. Interesting. Let's see what's will remain a puzzle to you during this current stage of your spiritual dowry. Treasure Island in the reverse. How do I get there? How do I get to my treasure? That 9. How do I get there? I feel like your path is supposed to kind of be unknown. A part of it anyway. It's almost like you have to trust in the work and your own strength and fortitude, and just keep pushing and wait for the shifts to appear. Quite literally, wait for the shifts to appear. And it's also giving me a feeling of like your treasure island is here now. So don't doubt what's already being shifted, even though it's not all fully here yet. It's already in the process. So don't thwart that energy build up because you're doubting that it will come, you know? And then the Hierophant, yeah. Don't doubt it. Magnus of the eternal gods. Don't doubt it, my lovely. Because there's like an ask of you, like a discipline of following this your particular set of rules to switch this, you know? Your alchemical formula that is really, really useful for whatever environment this is involving. It's needed, in other words. Cobweb. Look at this. Protected from negative forces beyond your control. Look at this. You're going to get here, my lovely, and you're protected. Just keep fighting. Keep building. Keep reviving. Keep feeding whatever this is for you. It does feel like a shift, like a systemic shift, a personality shift, a character shift, a perspective that needs to be changed, an attitude that needs to be adopted, programs need to be implemented, courses need to be taken, whatever the case is. Like whatever this is, there's something about whatever you're doing is working. You just may not be able to see all of what has already been accomplished based on your own doing. You just need to keep pushing because something's going to come in for you that might be, that will be more obvious for you to recognize, oh, I'm doing a good job, or this is working. That's what I feel at the moment. Let's see what the necessary burden is of this dowry then. Regeneration. That makes sense. Yeah, you have to rebuild it somehow. You have to revamp something, like I said, redo something, reimagine something. That's the necessary burden. It's a part of the task, and this is why you were gifted with this task. Look at all the strength cards. Strength and fortitude, fresh beginning. Strength and fortitude here. Ace of Pentacles, Lord of Material Gain, increase your efforts. Don't give up with that Hierophant. You're protected. You know, there's so much here about like just keep going, keep going. And the Six of Swords. Lord of earned success. Look at this. The challenge, right? But that's what you're doing now. You are earning this particular success through your work, through your efforts, through your actions, through the discipline, through the changes. And bowl. Plenty of material things. I'm telling you. This is about a bounty of some kind, of something coming in for you for sure because of your hard work. And it does feel very monetary, very materialistic, or very work-oriented. Either way, like a part of the burden is to learn how to continuously regenerate, a revenue stream is what I heard first. Second is finding a way to use this money or this resource or this thing that's coming in a better way than it had been used in the past, to be smarter about it, to be more economical, to be more ethical about it. And it's also regeneration of what you view as, what you view from a person who is successful. There's something about that has changed for you. And I'm also getting a feeling of like using what one has, the resources one has to not put things or have things go to waste. Interesting. And I feel like a part of this, like, I guess, test that you're sort of going through with this dowry is it's about character building for you, and literally is to make you stronger, for you to be able to handle more. That's really what I'm getting. This is all a part of you getting to a place that can level you up even more. Lovely. What is your task then, my love? Holy cow. Unfinished symphony, yeah. Something's not completed, something needs to get done better. Again, reimagine, revisit, here and now, not to back down. Plenty of things to be fixed and changed. Interesting. And then we have the King of Pentacles, Prince of the Chariot of Earth. Again, talking about material abundance, right? About gaining one's footing in this earth, putting your own footprint down, creating your own legacy. I just heard completing one to start your own. I don't know what that means. That might be for somebody specific. Completing one legacy to start your own. Interesting. And then skull. Hidden secrets can harm you. This is interesting. This is a side note, what they're just bringing into me. This is obviously not going to be applicable to everybody, but it almost feels like a family business or a business that you've been in for a very long time, and you've, like, in a sense where you've may have started at the bottom and eventually worked your way up to the top of a particular company. It's that kind of energy. Again, if this scenario does not apply the feeling or the tone or the theme of what I'm about to say. So as I was saying, it feels like something that's like family oriented or a family business, and certain things have been kind of convoluted or fakaked, and you're like, this is backwards, or like, why has this been the way it is? No wonder this is not working. No wonder there's no revenue or stream coming in fluidly. Like there's something about like you recognizing that, and I do feel like you uncover secrets, or I'm hearing like unfinished business more than unfinished symphony, which is the same thing, but more meaning like things swept under the rug, forgotten about, paid out or paid off or something like that. There's secrets that you need to be privy to truly fix and rectify whatever it is that you're trying to create here. And I think that's why they're like, don't back down from your position. You are protected, you're waiting for this news, and that might be that secret. There's plenty of material things that can be rejigged and reused in a better way. And again, I feel like you may not be able to get to this place of this King of Pentacles without all the secrets. So you have to uncover something. There's something that needs to be uncovered, again, to be uprooted, reimagined, re-edited, etc. Interesting. Let's see what your problem is then. The fates. Interesting. How is that a problem? Oh, Spirit said you sometimes, which is not necessarily a bad thing, you sometimes want to take things into your own hands, and sometimes things need to just play out. That's what Spirit said first. I'm also getting a sense of, please try not to doubt your intuition or doubt the random sparks of inspiration that pop up on a daily for you. They're asking you to keep notes or keep a notepad or take notes. Do not dismiss the smallest of thoughts, because they can grow into something very beautiful and magnificent. Then we have the Nine of Swords. Yeah. The problem here is, that's overthinking. That's what I'm feeling for you. You're not trusting, possibly not always, but not trusting in your own intuition or into the flow of how things are going, again, like of what you've put in, Lord of Despair and Cruelty. I feel like you're being more cruel to yourself than anything. And so much overthinking. And I think this is a part of what, what might come up for you every once in a while, of you tempted to go back into this old way of what was before, the overthinking, the over-observing, the over-analytical, and not enough doing. And this is like, no, my lovely, you're doing exactly what you need to do. Stop overthinking. Just trust. Just trust. Yeah, bouquet, compliments from an admirer. And it could be literally like somebody commenting or complimenting the work that you have been doing, or that's the news you're waiting for. But I also feel like spirit is what's complimenting you. But this is the problem, right? The problem area is maybe you're not taking in what's, you know, the compliments or the things that have been said to you based on what you've already implemented, and you're like, it's not enough, it's not enough. Or you're maybe not literally seeing like how you've transformed it. They're bringing me up to so many movies. Okay, so they're bringing me now to Klaus, the animation that's on Netflix. And there's this beautiful part. The movie's gorgeous, like the story is lovely. But there's a moment in the movie where his love interest, or the girl that he ends up marrying, they don't hit it off in the beginning naturally, but she's she was okay, so she sells fish in the movie, and she originally came to this town, Snoresburg or something like that, to become a teacher, like a school teacher. But there's two like prominent families in this town, and they're always at war. So nobody goes to school because they don't want their kid to go to school with that other kid. It's so crazy. It's nuts, right? But this fella comes in, his name's Jesper, and comes in, long story short, things happen, he does some things, etc., etc. Things start to shift in the town, and he doesn't really recognize or know what's happening because he's still in like a very selfish mode of trying to get out of this town, you know, because it's like cold so far away, and he's spoiled little rich boy. Like, that's what the energy is, right? And he doesn't deny it. So long story short, at some point in the movie, he comes back into this woman's fish shop, but it's like fully transformed into an actual schoolroom now. And she spent all of her savings for her that she was using to get out of that town to put into the school now that kids are coming to school. Long story short, you should watch the movie. It's beautiful. Anyways, but he's like, what are you doing? You spent all your money. She's like, oh my God, you don't know what you've done. Like, you have no idea what you've done for this town. He's like, what are you talking about? It's like, shouldn't you be getting ready to leave this place? Like, and she brings him into the town, and it's like all this like love. Before it was all like gloomy and dark, and everybody like trying to like literally murder each other. Like, not a joke. So anyway, this is what this feels like. It's like you don't even recognize what you've actually done. And some of these compliments that you might be giving, you're like, I don't know what, sure, that's nice and sweet, but it's not lasting. It's not big enough. The ripple's not big enough. The wave isn't big enough. And Spirit's saying, the wave has already begun, my love. It's already begun. You're already in this treasure island. You just have to recognize it and keep moving forward and keep developing whatever it is that you're developing. Find out what's hidden, though. All right. Let's see the solution to your dowry. Ooh, look at this. Blood month, sacrifice, offerings, and decisions. Now that's a freaking truth, hey? It does feel like a legitimate sacrifice in some regard, and I think they're bringing me to this temptation will test you. And I feel like it's a sacrifice, yes, it's going to be of time for sure, of sacrificing your doubts. And there might, I don't know why they bring it. Take this only if it resonates. There might be a sacrifice when it comes to having to let go of whatever original tie was here. Because like I said I think it was over here when I said ending one legacy to start your own. And this is what this feels like. It's like my blood oath technically is done with this when this is completed, and I can finally begin my own venture. This is very interesting, my love. Hold on. Let's see what else we got. Loyal heart. Yeah, I'm telling you. Like, you have been so loyal. There is definitely something about that. And you're now like, I've been doing this for so long, or putting so much effort into something very specific, and I've been loyal to it. Once it's completed, I can like let it go. It's almost like maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what you're trying to rush out of, and that's why you can't really see it. You know, I almost feel like you need to enjoy what you've created, what the shift that you've made. You know, don't just brush it off and being like, on to the next. No. Take it in. Take it in. You deserve it. 3 of Pentacles. Lord of material work. Yeah, because like I was going to say, because you worked for it, man. You worked for it. And you're continuing to work for it. And you've made, I do feel like you're creating harmony in this, I want to say workplace. It doesn't have to be, but in this environment. Like it's here for you. It's being created. You're doing it. Like you're legitimately doing it. So this spiritual dowry for you of this fresh starts and changing things up, using your strength, making things more harmonious, bringing things up to the surface, rectifying where money had been squandered or not used well. Again, ethics, moral conduct, etc. You're doing the Lord's work, my friend. Fair man. Dealings or relationship with a man with blonde, gray, or white hair. And I think this is part of this sacrifice or this blood oath, you know? That it's either to this, again, it feels like family, I'm not kidding. Or again, somebody or a business or thing that you've been in for a very long time. And they're bringing me to the skull and the fair man. I do feel like something unfinished business, secrets hidden, or from this particular man. That's just the energy that I'm getting off of this masculine first right now. Your spiritual dowry is to make shifts, to make changes, to create rifts for lasting change, for the benefit of all involved, not just the few. You are truly coming from a humanitarian standpoint, and the happiness of the people is truly your goal. Do not lose that. Remember, childlike wonder, fresh new beginnings, spring. Spring into your role. Wow, my beautiful collective of pile 3. That was beautiful when it comes to your spiritual dowry currently at the moment. And Spirit is applauding you all the way through, recognizing what you have been through and what you're going through and how you might feel, but do not miss or dismiss the greatness that you've already accomplished. Celebrate your small victories. It will only add to the bigger ones. Oh, my collective, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. I'm sending you so much love. Until next time, keep watering your lives. Ciao. Welcome, my pal 4. I almost said 3 because I'm not used to having 4 pals. All right, there's tons of cards. We're going to spread them out and get started. All right, my beautiful collective of pile 3. So this position here is going to let us know what your spiritual dowry is currently. So let's get started. We have Frere, number 23, abundance, peace, and contentment. I just heard the peace bringer, the light giver, the mediator. I heard the calm and collected one. I'm hearing a peacekeeper, but they're saying something else. A peacekeeper of... I'm not sure, but I'm getting like the voice of the silent, for the silent. A voice for the people. Interesting. So first I heard life can be really simple. People make it too complicated. And then the song that came into my head was... life could be a dream if I could take you up to paradise up above, and you and I would be the only one that you love. Life could be a dream, sweetheart. La, 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 da, doo, da, doo, da, da. I don't know what that song is fully, but I think it's Life Would Be a Dream. I don't know who sings it, but that's what came out when I heard peacekeeper or people. Excuse me, a voice of the people. Interesting. Then we have to be fair. Yep. Like, again, peacekeeper, you're fair, just. And everything just got really quiet where I am right now. Like my ears just popped. And everything went quiet. They just said you bring silence into chaos. It's like your energy, it almost commands silence. That's how they're bringing it to me. This is very interesting. Eight of Swords. Lord of shortened force. Again, like the conflict of the mind, you know, like you bring in this fairness and this peace and this justice and this abundance of care and gentleness. Yeah, it's like very Gemini Libra vibe with, I feel like, a Cancer or Pisces energy. When it comes to energies, it's like energetic frequencies of the sign, you know? You don't have to be those signs. It's just that's the feeling I'm getting. And then Firecracker, excitement. This is really interesting, my POW 4. Wow, POW 1. My POW 4s. I'm hearing a part of your spiritual dowry is to bring excitement to dull matters, where there was no fairness, when power wasn't used respectfully. It's almost like I feel like you bring new life to something that had always been misused or mistreated in some way. This is interesting. Like they're showing it to me in like royalty. Like when I said that you almost command silence, like I saw like a king walking into a courtroom, like its room, like its main room, you know, and everybody just quiets down and shows their respect. Like that's what I saw. And then when the Lord of Shortened Force came out, I saw an alleviation of strife, of pain, of struggle, again, of the chatter, of the argument. And I think the excitement for this energy from you is because it's so fair, because it's inclusive, because you genuinely listen. This is beautiful. Wow. All right, well, let's see what some of the lingering effects are of this spiritual dowry that you've had, that you've been given, I should say. Time for a nap. You're like, no time for naps, my friend. There's things to be done, people to hear, things to change. Again, it also is making me feel like you're awake to, you know, the troubles and the concerns, the opinions voiced, the concerns voiced. I heard you're a deliberate participant in all affairs. Then you have Eight of Cups, Lord of abandoned success. This is a part of the lingering energies, hey? Interesting. You know what they told me? It's like, again, with the excitement and, you know, because you're fair, it's like there's the past. Let's say if I'm going to use that like hierarchy, that king example, the past king was not attentive, did not listen, was fucking sleeping on the job, walked away, was not successful when it came to dealing with the matters of the people. Like that's how they're bringing it to me. I know this is not our era, but this is how they're presenting it and showing it to me. I do watch a lot of period pieces, so this might be why. And then you have Quill. Get back to the basics. So this is what it is. It's like whatever you guys were sleeping on or napping on or left or abandoned before, you're coming in to revamp it, to make it fair, to be abundant, to be content with all, you know, getting back to the basics of what the necessity is to create better. Let's see what your promise is. The Thinker in reverse, like I said. Wow, you might have a connection to pile 2 in a very different way. Might just have some extra messages in there, I don't know why. Anyway, but the promise here is, again, there's no thinking involved anymore. It's like what was done didn't work, or wasn't working, or is no longer working. So whatever I had thought about in the past, I am now putting into practice. Again, to be fair, abundance, peace. I'm not going to overthink anything. I've already done enough thinking. It's time for the doing. And then the Five of Wands in the reverse, Lord of Strife in the reverse, exactly. Again, reliever of the thoughts, no longer overthinking, you know, and relieving of this mental anguish that might be created. Or again, I really do feel like you're literally a peacekeeper, like it's a part of your gift, period. Again, we are not, I know we're talking about a spiritual dowry, which is exactly what this is, but this is what I mean. It's like the promise for you to always, is it always? Yes, because it's innately you. It's for you to always be able to manage how to deal with strife, how to deal with conflict, how to deal with arguments, disagreements. There's a commanding of your energy that I think that you are fully owning now. The sun, a promise. This is your promise, happiness and well-being. Exactly. Because this is what you're creating in people. You create this happiness and well-being for being able to alleviate this conflict within, you know, this peace. You bring it. Light bringer, peace giver, you know, light giver, peace bringer. Wow. Okay. Let's see what a challenge is for you. What the challenge is, I should say. We have round and round. Okay, so this is a repeating cycle for you possibly. Or you want, again, maybe coming back to what the lingering effects are of, like releasing this particular cycle of the way things were, or picking up the pieces where people were slacking. Queen of Cups in the reverse. Queen of the Thrones of the waves, of the waters. Just adding in my own words. So a challenge for you here is to, I guess, to give some emotion back into something that feels so tedious. It's like you guys have, what I want to say, it's like, this is dumb. That's what I want to say. This is freaking dumb. I don't know why we're putting in any effort here because it's stupid. Like, that's really what I'm feeling here about this, like this challenge. But I feel like that's what it is. Like, you have to sort of, not that you don't have this peace and this tranquility within you, but when it comes to this particular situation where I think they're referring to this, like time for a nap in reverse, 8 of Cups, like Lord of Abandoned Success, sleeping on the job, so to speak, you know, not getting the basics covered. It's like, now I have to go back and fix all this shit, and I have no empathy for this, but like, I think that's what Spirit's saying. Just soften up from that area just a little bit if you can. And then Rose, romance is in the air. Yeah, it's about soften it up. In all fairness, like, I don't think it has really much to do with romance, but I feel like you sort of have to romance the situation for this not to come back around again. It's a little bit of a schmoozy or a coddling of a certain type of personality or dynamic. Interesting. Let's see what will remain a puzzle to you about this dowry. A leg up. I just heard who to give a leg up and when you get your leg up. I'm feeling a sense of like a lack of trust, or yeah, it's a lack of trust when it comes to maybe certain people. And it might feel like somebody's trying to one-up you or to pull one over on you, possibly. And it also feels like, who do I give this one up to, like this leg up to? Who do I give this support to? There's something along those lines. I don't know if this is like a possibility of how you got your position, or some of the people that are involved need to step down or need to be removed. This is interesting. Wow, I'm getting so many weird, interesting messages. The Star. The daughter of the firmament, excuse me. I really do feel like you're the one who's getting the leg up here. And I don't necessarily feel like you feel like you're getting the leg up, but you did. And I think that's the reason why you're actually in this position, of whatever position that you're in. You've been given the leg up from ancestral, from destiny, from following. Doesn't really matter where it came from. You've just been given it, and it's divinely guided, is what I'm trying to say. That I can't get out of my mouth. And then career, I'm telling you, it definitely feels very strongly career oriented for sure. Business, balancing, courts, legal, you know, and And I think maybe people may not know how you got there or how you got that position when it comes to logistics. Not that you're not deserving or that you don't fit that role. It's just sort of like, where did this person kind of come from? This is very, I need to take a moment. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Give me a second, Pop 4. Spirit's also asking you to not walk away from this either. No matter how frustrated you might get, don't walk away. We have placed this opportunity in front of you. What will you do with it next? They just asked you. Woo. Interesting. Let's see what the necessary burden is then. Poised. Remaining poised and collected. This is coming back to this energy here. Remaining poised. That's a... Again, there might be extra messages in pile 2 for you. Excuse me, pile 3 for you. I apologize. If I said pile 2 before, I meant pile 3. So take that in only if that feels right to you. Then we have the 3 of Wands. Lord of established strength. The necessary challenge is to establish your strength and remain poised. Throughout whatever happens here, I'm telling you, there is something that's like underneath the surface that this is the reason why you are this abundant, peaceful, content, fair, gentle when it comes to diplomatic matters or being diplomatic. Delegating, giving out compliments or constructive criticism, it's all very fair and very balanced and very loving. And so Spirit's like, don't lose that. Don't lose that gentleness with your strength, with that go-getter clarity and balance, fair, justice. Younger woman, dealings or relationship with a younger woman. This can either be you, my beautiful collective of pile 4, or it has to do with somebody in your environment that might be testing your strength and your willpower. They're also giving me that she might have a particular placement that might make it harder for her to change. And they're giving it to me like she might have been there for so long, or it's been done a certain way for so long that she doesn't want to evolve and grow and change, that it's become like a muscle memory, and coming to work is what they're wording it to me. Coming to work is like mind numbing now. And for you to change anything would require her to actively think and be present again. And I think this is a partial energy of somebody, right? And because of that, they're like, they're resisting you. They're like pushing back in some way. In a way to test you that's like legitimately testing your resolve. And I think this is where this is coming in with this Queen of Cups in the reverse and romance in the air. It's sort of just like romance the situation if you can a little bit. You are what I get here is you are the smarter one and the wiser one. And this energy is a little bit immature is what I'm getting. I don't feel like this is you per se, but it definitely can be. I don't think that what I'm describing is you. I'm just saying the younger woman can be you, but what I'm describing is another energy. It feels bratty. That's the best way I can say it. It feels bratty. Interesting. Let's see what your task is then. Flexible. Well, yeah, that makes sense. They want you to be more flexible, even more than you already have been. Again, coming back to that sweetness a little bit more. You already are fair, but I'm getting like fair, like justice and Queen of Swords combined. Like that's the energy that I'm getting when it comes to what to be fair feels like. But it's still, like I said, feels very Gemini, Libra, Cancer, Pisces energy when it comes to the energetic emotional energy and the mental game of it. And the task is for you to be literally more flexible. And the world, the universe, the great one of the night of time. Yeah, it's like all about cycles and again, round and round, completing this, understanding it, being more flexible, coming together with different perspectives, personalities, rejections, acceptance, you know, it's bringing opposite sides into one, trying to create some more harmony. And then January, which we are in the month of. So January might be really significant about you needing to switch or be a little bit more flexible. January might be really significant when it comes to these energies of what you're having to deal with, or presently, like I said, because this is currently what's happening for you. This is just letting us know this is what's going on literally right now for you. So that's the task, to be a little bit more flexible in January, or in general, period. But it definitely feels like it's heavily centered around career or that type of environment. Let's see what the problem is then. Message in a bottle. You know what I'm getting? I'm getting like hidden complaints. Like anonymous complaints. Sorry if I hit the camera. Anonymous complaints, or like certain things that you have to deal with because it's an issue. You know, like that's really what I'm getting. It's like the problem is that I keep getting the same kind of complaints or the same issues with the same person, the same type of thing, or whatever it is. And again, you are the one that they come to be fair, for for creative and peaceful resolutions to certain things. And that's what I feel like is part of the problem. It's like you can't really ignore this situation or issue, especially if it has to do with this, because it's affecting the whole environment. Yeah, 10 of Wands, Lord of Oppression, absolutely. It might be putting you in a place of oppression, or making you feel like, what do I do with this situation, or I can't do anything. Maybe like even this younger person might be like the boss's daughter or niece or daughter-in-law or some craziness like that, you know, like very entitled is what I'm getting. That's why I think I feel bratty from this one over here. You're gonna have to let me know, because this is interesting energy. And then Nest. An emotional, secure, loving family is important to you. And as I was saying that, like the niece or a daughter of somebody, I wonder if that is. And maybe it's even yours. Like maybe it's even part of your connection, or you got the person the job, or something that you're somehow connected to this person. Maybe you're just an HR, maybe you are an HR representative in this particular thing. It feels very much like it could be that kind of HR energy, you know, or have been, or that's where you delegate your life or whatever. But there's so many interesting energies, especially because I don't normally do 4 piles. It's like, this is very cool for me to get into, especially when it comes to like corporate stuff. It's so not my world, and I find it very interesting when dynamics like this come up, because it is a different type of family unit, you know, dealing with the same people every day. It's like school, same thing. Sorry about that. My memory card was full. Yeah, so it really does feel like the problem is that you do have to address something that is sort of keeping you, or making you feel sort of stuck between a rock and a hard place. And hence why you're the perfect person to deal with this issue. If this is where your energy is, this abundance, this peaceful, this content, this person of the people, you know, this peacekeeper, this alleviator of strife, the fixer, you know, that's who you are. Or that's what it feels like anyway. Interesting. Let's see the solution to your dowry. Bliss. Look at this beauty. Contentment. Look at this. Satisfaction and security. That's it. This is what you're doing. This is literally what you're doing. What we've been talking about this whole freaking reading. The solution is exactly what you're doing to find that contentment, that satisfaction and security within whatever this environment is. Breathe. Yes. Again, relaxation, contentment, satisfaction. You have it twice, contentment twice, peace, breathe. Like, it's so beautiful. Like, there's nothing more to say there. And then the High Priestess, because you freaking know. You know your power. You know what to do. You know what's good here. Again, like I said, you're like on a different level, and you're the one that's been gifted with this responsibility of bringing peace to, I want to say the troubled, but I can't even say it's just troubled, because whatever, to the troubled, forget it. It's to the troubled, in whatever way you want to view that. Troubled in the work environment, troubled in emotions, troubled in mentally, it doesn't matter. It's troubled. And then you have horseshoe. Look at freaking that. The solution. Good luck. Good luck. No, I really do feel like you're blessed, you know? Like all of this is blessed. You have that star here. You have that leg up. You're protected is what I also feel. And look at all these bright, beautiful cards too. You know, the only thing that's like a little bit of a contender is maybe some of the frigidity that you might feel in January and not wanting to be flexible and just wanting to like nip this in the butt when Spirit's asking you to approach it a little bit more soft than you probably would want to, or then you think that might be the most effective. But I feel there's an extra contender with this energy. There's something else that's added on to their energy or environment that you can't do it the way that you maybe normally would, or the way that it should be done. For some reason, I don't know why I'm getting that, but I definitely am. And your solution to this particular dowry, you know, the changes and the risks, etc., it's for you to continue what you're doing, trust in what you're doing, breathe, and you're blessed. You're good. Like, it would all turn out for the benefit of all and work out well, you know, regardless of whatever reaction this person has. You're looking at a bigger whole here. And even if this is an energy of, you know, letting this person go, it's still going to be a benefit to them, even if it may not seem that way to them. Okay. Oh, my beautiful collective, that seems to be what your spiritual dowry, or what Spirit wants to talk to you about your spiritual dowry today. It's about you being fair, of you bringing in this new light and freshness to an area that was once not respected. That is really what I feel the most. And you're bringing in that respect, but with a beautiful discipline and creating a new state of harmony. A new manifesto. Well, my collective of Pelfor, I hope that was helpful. Thank you so very much for watching. I hope this was helpful. And I hope you, wow. Please keep watering your lives. Until next time, I'm sending you so much love. Ciao.